Glicks, what was that? Where is Dallas? And why are the lights off?
Dallas has been sent to Monster Island to discuss Skull Island.
Wait, I have to be on the ship with just you and me? Glicks, I mean, you're cool and all, but I really want my husband back.
Due to the COVID-19 virus, he will not be allowed back on board the ship till things have subsided. Celeste, Dallas is safer on Monster Island than he would be going back and forth between the two places. As an effort to keep you from going mad and driving me insane, we will be bringing in the devoted geeks more often than we have been.
Well, I guess that'll work.
Okay, what is happening here?
Where are we?
Glicks, give us a situation report.
Currently, we are on the planet Geekery. Be warned, our impossibility drive may cause distortions as we traverse this land. Impending impossibility engaging in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, devoted geeks, and welcome to episode 67 of Comm Talk, the podcast extension of Geek Devotions. This is episode 1 of Quarantine Edition. We hope you are enjoying Glicks' efforts to keep me from going crazy by myself since Dallas is stuck with Nathan and Jimmy over on Monster Island. Speaking of which, Glicks, send a message to Jimmy and let him know that Dallas is allergic to bananas. He has a habit of eating things and asking the ingredients later. And I don't know how much Benadryl they have on Monster Island.
Sending the transmission now. Jimmy will be made aware.
So, now that that's taken care of and we can ensure that Dallas is safe and sound and free of eating bananas, hopefully. Nathan, keep him from eating bananas. Nathan. Jimmy. We're going to be talking about why we are doing this. At the moment, as many of you know, unless you are watching, listening, however you are doing this, many years in the future, we are in the middle of what is being called a pandemic. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people are at home. They are quarantined. Everyone's wearing masks. I mean, it's a conspiracy theorist and dystopian fans' dream right now out there. So we had mentioned on some of our streams that I have been furloughed, which means that I am not working. I have a job when all of this is over, but I am currently not working. Dallas, on the other hand, his job has actually increased. He is the online community pastor for our church, and because we are currently only online for services, that means a lot of extra work for the online community pastor. I think about 2 weeks ago he said he had edited 11 videos, and that did not count Geek Devotions. So he is busier than normal, whereas I have an excess amount of time. So for right now, until my job calls and goes, hey, Celeste, we need you back, we are going to be doing what we're calling our quarantined editions of the podcast. Hopefully these will be coming out about once a week. I don't foresee any reason for them not to. I hope you enjoy them. Let us know. Give us some feedback. Do you enjoy just listening to me talking to a mic in my linen closet? Because that is where I am right now. We're also testing this out to see if the setup works well for my audiobooks that I do. So, but let us know. Now, we do have plans for the podcast for after quarantine. Dallas and I had been discussing this before things went a little crazy. This is kind of just to get us back in the habit of doing a podcast, getting our podcast a little bit more stable, getting our numbers a bit more even. Once everything is done and back to normal, and I am back working my 40 hours a week, and then some, sometimes. Our plan is to go to a monthly podcast. We are still looking forward to having another podcast talking about Superman versus the Klan with our dear friend Carlos Renfro. We have other things. We just feel like with our lives currently that a monthly podcast would be more easily manageable. But until then, you get some extra ones. Like I said, our goal is to do these quarantine podcasts about once a week. So about once a week, I will be standing in my closet talking to you. And hopefully there's somebody listening other than my Christmas table arrangements. So for today's discussion, I'm going to be talking about, you're going to be listening, about the CBS app. When the CBS app first came out, I was very vehement, very angry, because the shows are strictly on the CBS app. They have done this with Discovery. They have done this with Picard, meaning that you have to pay for their service in order to watch their shows. I think that's a little ridiculous, considering that, we have had Star Trek available to us for free for years, because CBS is one of the network channels. And I am very vehemently against this, and I still am very vehemently against us. But about 2 weeks ago, CBS All Access announced that they will be allowing people to get a month free. After that, normal prices resume. And so we signed up for the month free. Gonna take that free month. We're gonna watch what we can. Recently just finished watching 2 seasons of Discovery. Again, I have a lot of time, guys. I was being active while I watched it. I watched it while I was cleaning my house and doing laundry. So I'm not being completely lazy. But I have a lot of extra time right now. So I finished 2 seasons in 2 weeks. But yeah, and so I have to say, it's an enjoyable show. We might get into spoilers here for that and for Picard, so if you haven't seen it, go sign up for CBS All Access and spend a few hours. Not bad. So, spoiler alert here. I have to say, I watched the first 2 episodes of Discovery and the first episode of Picard on the same day. And Picard is far more intriguing to me. I don't know if it's that I have a connection with Patrick Stewart. Like, I really just love him as Picard. There's some bit of me that still thinks of him as Professor X every time I see him, even though that wasn't his first role. Picard was his first role. Well, not his first role, but it came before. Anyway, but I really love him in this role. There's something comforting about him as a captain. And it's just, they have a really intriguing storyline. Discovery? I was about halfway through the first season when I wasn't watching just so that I could say I'd watched it. When I wasn't watching so that I didn't sign up for a 30-day free month for no reason. They have some interesting characters. They bring on some interesting races. There is a character called... I don't remember what they're called. I know the name is Saru. Kelpians. They're Kelpians. And so the Kelpians are an intriguing race. They do a lot with them in season 2. There's a really interesting character who I relate to. Her name is Tilly. She has big curly hair and it's red. And I feel like they took Celeste and put her on Discovery. So there's some intriguing plot points to it. There are some things in the show that as a Christian we disagree with, but it wasn't overt enough to make me not want to watch the show. It was there, but it wasn't any more there than it is in anything else. Language was pretty good. Actually, I don't remember them cussing at all in the show, so that's interesting now that I'm thinking about that. So yeah, pretty good show. I've been enjoying it. I have enjoyed it. When we got to the end of season 2, I was like, oh, that was a good ending. I bet that's the end of the show. I am satisfied with how things wrapped up. And then I learned that there's going to be a season 3. I don't know how to feel about this, guys. I just don't know what to say about this. I don't think the show can carry a season 3. I don't think when they take out the elements that they took half a season to build up, and then another half of a season getting you used to these things, I don't know if they can handle another season. I think they're going to end up shooting themselves in the foot with it. So we will see. One way or the other, I will watch season 3. It may be after it comes onto DVD, Blu-ray, but you never know. That being said, Picard is beautiful. The cinematography, the storyline, it's dealing with data and with the repercussions of some of Data's actions and some actions of people who are interesting people. dealing with the Romulans. And I have to say, because I have been going through Star Trek in order of the dates that it aired, I am not familiar with everything going on in Picard, because they assume that you have seen all of DS9. You have seen all of Voyager. You have seen Nemesis, which I have not. I have finished The Next Generation. I'm in the middle of the first season of DS9. That one's kind of a struggle because it's kind of chill. It's kind of relaxed. It's kind of all the episodes that you normally like, I'm just watching this to get through. Like, there's not a ton of in-depth story, but I'm trying to get through at least the first season and see if maybe they find their footing after that. There are things that I just know I'm not catching, and I know that I will want to own this later so that I can go back and watch it again. Like, I know of 7 of 9, don't know a lot about her character, other than she is Borg. Was Borg, is Borg. Not sure how that works. So, but yeah, it's really interesting. I would actually suggest, if you are a Star Trek fan, watching Picard rather than watching Discovery. Discovery is not that great. It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I don't regret watching it, but it's not... There was a lot of things that confused me in that and how things fit. They've wrapped it all up, sort of ish, but I'm still not completely satisfied with it. With how it fits into the overall timeline. So there you go, guys. That is my recommendations for our first episode of our quarantine podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Comm Talk today. If you have loved this episode, head over to Apple Podcasts to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. So until next time, stay devoted, peace and love.